Hey guys, in this video we're going to review the POC Ventral Air. Okay, POC's a Swedish company. They originally made winter helmets for like skiing and things like that. Well, they first came out with the POC Octal, which was the first helmet to have the MIPS liner, which both companies are a Swedish company, so we can understand why they collaborated together. So the Octal was well known for being one of the best ventilated helmets you could actually buy when it came out. And the only problem with it, it was ugly, very ugly. It looked like you were wearing a mushroom on your head. Well, POC has addressed that with now the Ventral Air. So the helmet I test is the medium, and it comes in at about 275 to 280 grams on my scale, depending on how much sweat is in the pads. I do have the North American version. The European version comes in about 245 grams. Now when riding it, it does not feel much different than other helmets that I've used that are much lighter, but it feels great on the head. It doesn't feel like it's too much weight. Now the straps on the helmet, they have this brace here which is very comfortable. Keeps the straps out of your ears and just runs the strap nicely around your ears. It also has a nice little sleeve here to hold any excess strap that you may have used when you tighten down the strap. So the straps work perfectly. I know they did have some issues with the original Ventral, which is their Aero helmet like this one, where the straps were too short. But they have addressed this and it has been fixed with the Ventral Air. It does come with a really cool feature, kind of an eye docking garage section here. You can kind of see this little section here. It's grippy actually, so it will grip your sunglasses. Now I've been using some Tifosi Sledge glasses and they don't fit perfectly. I mean they go in, but they're a little loose, and they'll actually, if I look back, they'll come off. I do have some Tifosi regular kind of glasses that are just kind of square shaped. You know, they fit good. I know the POC glasses fit good in here, and also I believe some Oakley glasses will also fit good. If you know some glasses that fit really good in this helmet, let us know down in the comments below. Now, in my opinion, the best feature of this helmet, as you can see, is the ventilation. I mean, you can look and see straight through that helmet. If you can see through the helmet and see your head and everything, you know the air is going to be passing through there. And not only is it good ventilation in the front, it has great ventilation in the back, which allows the air to actually flow over your head and cool your head a little more. Also, on the sides, it seems like it has more ventilation on the sides than other helmets I have worn before as well. I would say this has a little bit better ventilation than the Cask Vallegro helmet and also the Giro Ether helmet, which I both reviewed those helmets before in the summertime. This one I would give it just a little bit better than those two helmets, and really it's just mainly because of this back section having better ventilation and also a little bit better ventilation on the sides as well. And because the ventilation is so good, I would recommend this helmet for like slower riding speeds, for example like gravel riding, mountain biking through single track, anything like that. This helmet is amazing at slower speeds as well. It allows the heat to really escape. Now, I have been using the regular Ventral, which is their Aero version. The Aero version has this part covered right here. And I notice when I'm riding the Aero version and my head's tilted down a little bit right there, it definitely is keeping some ventilation from coming in and cooling my head. I've actually, with the Aero, when I've tilted it back, and I could feel much better airflow. But this helmet addresses that lack of airflow from the regular Ventral. And the Ventral, by the way, is probably the best ventilated Aero helmet I've ever tried. Another unexpected benefit I found was the brow pads. The brow pads do a great job of actually kind of collecting sweat and moving them away from the eyes instead of sweat kind of dropping down into your eyes. Giro and also Bell, they actually have a feature where this pad will extend here to catch that sweat. POC doesn't have that feature, but the way the brow pad is designed, it definitely keeps sweat from getting in your eyes. Now, you will get sweat in your eyes if it's super humid and super hot out, obviously. I have heard people who ride in less humid climates, the airflow is so good that it actually will dry this pad out to keep sweat from dripping in your eyes. So anyway, so as far as that goes, I do like that feature with this helmet. It does seem to keep sweat from dripping down into your eyes, unlike some helmets I've tried in the past. As far as sizing goes, this is a medium. It measures from 54 centimeter up to a 59 centimeter. My head measures 57.5, so I'm about right in the middle, and it fits perfect on me. You know, I don't have to cinch it down all the way. It does have just a simple turn dial here to actually tighten and loosen up the helmet. You can do it one-handed, very easy while you're riding. One thing I will mention is to move the cradle up and down. It is a little bit of a pain to do because it's not like some helmets will actually slide. You actually have to take these pieces out and pop them out like that, which has a little piece on it. And I'll show you a picture in just a second of that. And that has to pop into these little grooves right here. And the grooves go down a little bit. So you have about 3 positions you can move that. Actually about 4 positions you can move this and move it up. I run it at the very low setting actually, so the lowest it can go. But that's a little bit of a complaint, but I haven't found myself really adjusting the cradle height once I get the height set where I want it to be. So once you get it set, it's kind of a set and forget thing. So that's not a deal breaker for me. Now the only complaint I've had about fit wise on this helmet is one section, it kind of like right here on the top of my head, right through here, it feels a little tight, like that's making contact there, and that's just the shape of my head. So many others may not have that issue. I just feel like it's a little shallow in here in this section. To me, in my opinion. If you've tried this helmet before, you had that same experience, let me know in the comments below. But that's my only complaint really on the fit. It definitely has more of an oval shape compared to like a round shape like the Casque of Aero. But yeah, oval shape like most helmets out there. I've run Giro, they fit me well. Specialized helmets, they fit me well. So if you fit into one of those areas, you'll enjoy this helmet. This helmet will fit you well. All right, one interesting thing about the POC helmet is actually they have stopped using MIPS. They've designed their own technology here called spin, and the idea behind this is the pads kind of have a gel inside of them that will cause the helmet to somewhat rotate around your head. So it's interesting that they actually was the first company to have MIPS, and now they've ditched it for their own system. Now they did have some lawsuits going on between MIPS and POC, but recently they have actually made up and they've come to an agreement. And I think in future POC helmets you're going to start seeing what's called MIPS Integra, which is essentially this. It's these pads that have gel inside them that spin. So you will see those in the future. Now one interesting thing is that the new POC Ventral Air Light, it's a mouthful, it actually doesn't have spin pads or MIPS in it, which is pretty interesting. They're trying to make that helmet as light as possible. Just as a heads up, that helmet comes in about 245 grams in the US model and 180 grams in the European model. Now POC has always had somewhat of a love-hate relationship with cyclists as far as looks. In my opinion, they've done great with the Ventral Air. Gone is the days of mushroom heads with the Octal helmet, great ventilation. It doesn't have that kind of Japanese anime character look to it. It, in my opinion, looks just like down to business helmet. It's all about functionality and getting the job done. And I really like that look about this helmet. Now I have tested and I am testing the Ventral Aero helmet, which has a covering here, and that helmet does have a little bit wider sides, where this helmet is actually, it makes a gap right here, a vent right here, which makes this helmet look a little bit lower profile than the Aero helmet. So in my opinion, this one does look a hair better than the Aero version of this helmet. All right, so in conclusion, this is now my go-to helmet during the summertime for mountain bike riding on single track and also on gravel rides and races. I will grab this helmet. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button down below, share it with any of your friends who are looking for a helmet, and subscribe. That helps me out tremendously, and we'll see you in the next video.